I don't know. I think, in my opinion, what I've learned very deeply over the years is that confidence is just truth. It's just being honest. And there's people who put on this false bravado of arrogance of being like, they were fifth place at the Olympia last year. Don't pick out whoever was fifth and pick on them, but someone not winning, like, I'm going to show up and I'm going to win this Olympia. I know it in my heart. It's like, you don't know that, you're lying. That's not confidence. It's just a lie. Whereas when I've speak to myself truthfully and I'm like, I don't really know if I can do this. Like, I have doubt. I have fear. I just wanted X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, being honest, to me, that exemplifies real, true confidence. And you're being realistic with yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to do something you don't think you really can do, you're creating this gap between your beliefs and your reality, and it just creates more stress in yourself and an inability to perform, in my opinion.
Unwavering confidence is a lie. The fears never go away completely. They just don't linger as long. What's that?
Is that my quote?
To you.
Sounds great.
You wrote it. I mean, it sounds fantastic.
Sounds beautiful. I mean, that's kind of in that same boat. And maybe I'm just the weird champion who's not like that, but I still am full of doubt all the time. And I've tried to find ways to believe I wouldn't have doubt. I've tried to like talk in ways where I don't have doubt. I've tried to everything. And there's always just lingering doubt in my mind of being like, well, fuck, what if you don't? What if you can't? And it's just the truth of my mind. And regardless of that, over the past 5 years, I've still been able to perform, progress, and be the best in the world with that on my mind. So who's to say that I can't have that doubt on my mind while being a champion? There's no rules to it. That's why I've always said the champion mentality, the rules of being a champion, is that there are no rules. It's just whatever the champion does to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Anything out there is the wrong answer. You have to build it in yourself, and like I talk about the cookies of the intuition, over time, you build intuition. When you can get into a flow state of just trusting yourself to show up as you are. And if it's playful, if it's intense, if it's quiet, if it's loud, if it's doubtful, if it's whatever, if it's just who you are and you're not needing to put on any facade and you are able to release that mask and show up in a flow and trust your instincts and act on instinct, I don't think you can be beat.
What do you say to people who often feel fear? You mentioned the fears never go away completely. Feeling fear sucks. Not very comfortable.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to feel fear. I don't want to feel fear. But as somebody that's intimately familiar with that and pressure, what do you say to people who notice it come up, or what do you do yourself?
I would say when I start to feel fear about something now, I turn it into excitement. Because in the past, when I've started to feel fear, it's because something big that I've worked hard for that's really important to me has started to come creeping up closer. And there's something beautiful about the human experience of stress and anxiety, nervous fear, and all those things. And just trying to embrace that and lean into it is the best way I've been able to handle it when it comes to performance. But when there's stuff that's actually like impending fear of my health, let's say, something that I can't just be like, lean into the excitement that I might have a health problem or something. I've found, again, I've tried to embrace it and just feel it and sit with it and feel feelings, as we've talked about many times, and that's helped. But there's another level of giving it the validation that it deserves, the feeling, the validation it deserves. And that, to me, that's being able to vocalize it out loud. And I think this is different for everyone. But for myself, I'm a very introverted person, and I tend to keep things to myself. And I have a brain that's very logical. So it's like, well, I'm scared about my health. Well, you have no reason to be scared about your health. You're healthy. You do these tests and all these things. Well, I'm still anxious. And I'm like working through it logically in my brain. And I try and just like diminish the feeling that I have logically and work through it myself. And it's a dance, and it works a little bit, but it doesn't fully go away. It just pushes it down. But when I'm able to vocalize it and express it out loud and get the actual words out of my mouth and share it with someone, typically my wife, and able to regulate with my partner, and she's able to listen to me and, validate my feelings of what I'm going through. And of course you feel like that, X, Y, Z, this is very normal. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. And then it's just all of a sudden like ease. And I'm like, wow, I feel a lot better now. I feel a lot more calm and relaxed that I've released it. So I think a big thing for me was not feeling feelings numbing, trying to feel feelings, but kind of logically mansplaining it over myself in my head. And then it was actually letting it out, giving it like the attention it deserves to be put out into the world and communicate about it with someone who I trust and cares about me.